A great good morning, guys. A great good morning to all who tuned into the realest thing coming out of Guyana, possibly the world, undisputably so. And here up now. Sometimes, sometimes I be thinking, bias, what you be saying, by? We used to come up with these things, yes, sir. But where I pulling these things from is a matter of fact. I can't pull things out of thin air, yes, sir. I might look the part, but I know Einstein, right? I reach Einstein level. I kid you not. So this morning we got O.C. Rogers in the house. And O.C., where in the States you there now?
Good morning. Well, I'm still in Richmond Hill, Queens, New York, where all the Guyanese are. I'm still there, working hard on the behalf of Guyanese and proud to showcase the diaspora and what we do in the diaspora to the Guyanese here at home, and also proud to show off. I'm always proud to show off Guyana to anywhere I go in the United States. I wear that badge proudly to let people know I'm Guyanese and I'm proud of my country.
Let me hear that again.
Anywhere in the world I go.
Oh, no, no, no. Now
Oh,
you, O.C. We got a anomaly in the... Yeah. So tell me what's going on. My header states today, and since I have O.C. here, people want to know what's going on in the diaspora, Guyanese.
right.
And some of the biggest misinformation comes from the diaspora or people who live in the diaspora. You got David Hines, you got Tight Pants Burke, you got Ben Cop, Bench Cop, right? You got all these people. Here was the funny thing, and I don't think Guyanese know. Like, even to me, I have personal connection and issues with the PNC. So when people are coming, you gotta ask what's the art. Here was me issue. Recently, I went to a rum shop at Luziknan. Some boys called me. Right? What you doing, boss? Staying at me right away. I was home here. I had somebody from Florida, a business partner down here. And I said, you know something? Let me go and meet up these boys. Because since 2015, me and them is sit down. I ain't get to apologize to them. Let me tell you the story. In 2015, as a result of what the propaganda that was put out there by the PNC and the coalition by extension, I believe what they said. I believe all the stories about corruption. I believe the fact that the PPP needed to be gotten rid of. I believed. So what did I do? Any right-thinking citizen. Now, bear in mind, when I come in 2015, 2011, and 2015, I campaigned for the PNC. I don't know nobody from the AFC. I don't know nobody from the AFC. So when I campaigned, it's because I knew, I spoke to Joseph Harmon. I did jerseys for them. Eddie Collins, I would talk to. The guy by name Michael, the man who used to run GT&T once. We used to sit down. Bamba Mali, same place. That's why Norton is be wrong there. It's a PNC area. Bam Bam Ali, yes, the same place. Orange Walk. So me used to line there. Me just hear all this gap about the PPP, and I believed. So what did I do? I campaigned. Now me grew up in predominantly PPP communities. So when me I go look for people for vote, me I go look for PPP people for vote and convince them for vote for PNC. Now the other day me get on call, and is some of the boys that I convinced to vote for the PNC in 2015. I tell them, I said things are going to change, things are going to be better, you're going to get jobs, blah, 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 blah. Everybody believe, They bite light, sing a hook. Me eat so much of the shit belange where they give me. I done start growing eggplant out my ass. You understand? I believed everything. Bear in mind, at that time, I'm not so versed with politics. I don't know what's going on. Anybody say anything, me believe. That is why today I speak out every day. Because I too took what people said likely and believe. Now for go on, campaign for them. Now when I go to the rum shop, them boys sit down and laughing. There's boys say, you remember when we gone and we squat and I carry them boys and pick up a whole set of Wallaba posts from a man, a whole truckload of Wallaba posts, and we gone by Numprel town there. We squatting, taking in land. The police come and run we have. I calculate the government can change. And that was stupid of me. Can't blame it on the PNC. That's my own stupidity. Because squatting is illegal.
Exactly.
Yes, and I just felt that, well, a government, why put in? And me and all the people over there, people from Buxton and Succum, Trass Bay. I just felt that the government, why put in on me get land. This time the bloody land is people land, private land. And me there with Wallaba post, planting post, forget the people land. Right? Now, the story is, I believed everything. Now, here was my problem today. I believe a campaign for the PNC because of what they told me. I campaigned for them. Then go on and realize they are not who they say they are. You understand? I go on to realize they are not who they say they are. They are deceivers. I go. Nothing, no jobs. I had a manufacturing facility. That I carried the Minister of Business and show him Gaskin at the time. Mm-hmm. And I said, this is what I got. 78 seats, job openings were there. I needed a little bit of support. They didn't understand how to give me that. You understand? They're a waste of time. People, they don't know business. They don't know development. Right? So when I'm coming from a vantage of issues that I have with the PNC. Because I know them. It's like your ex. She fudge you over 1 man, 2 man, 3 man. And then you come and, she watch your reform? That's a whore. So just like that, now you have to ask David Hines, Rickford Bork, Bench Cup, what are the issues? I am saying what my issues are with the PNC. I have had experience with them. I see their actions. I know they're no good. I ain't think. I know. If you ain't know, I used it for 5 years, who to do for? Let Bench Cup come and say. Let him bring clarity and say, here, the PNC did this to me. And this is why I stand by them. Let David Hines come and say, this is what the PNC did for me, or the WPA. I support the WPA, and this is what I benefited. I am telling you why I talking and why I got problem with them. Because I never get nothing. And they have nothing to give nobody. And that's what they're preaching all the time. We go do, when we go do, how we go do. So we got to come clear first thing. What is the problem? I have a problem with the PNC. I tell you, it was my problem. They lies, I was lied to. I was misled. I was deceived. Me and jump on the PVP bandwagon because I got a problem with the PNC. I watch and I will go and there's no other option. That is why I campaign for a third force. That is why Lennox Schumann sits where he is today. You understand? So just to bring clarity, because we want to know what is going on. Yes, I got issues with them. So when you see people like, what is the problem, Rickford? What is the problem, Mark? David, what is the problem? Tell the people What are the personal issues you have with the PPP? You understand? First thing, those way you gotta come and bring clarity to what's the problem you have with the people. I say it was the problem I got with the PNC. The PPP and me ain't no friends. The PPP is a political party that has transformed and realized you ain't want a man like me cuss to you every day. So whatever the issues address, do you know? This morning I post up about Alnis, got a flooding in Alnis. Within 15 minutes, I received a call from no less than a minister. Said, what is going on? What's going on? What's the problem? I said, boss man, I don't know what's the problem. What I know, the problem needs to be fixed. I have photographs to show that the people place flood. You understand? The people responding. Me now, there for the people on the ground. The PNC, you could talk cheese. You could talk cheese, chalk. And they ain't got no time with you. When they get power, when they get taste of power, it's King Juffy Jaffaism.
Yes.
You understand? Mm-hmm. Now, all of that being said, is because OC, you know me a visa, the Americans didn't give me visa. Right? The people must be calculating this disruptor in weak country. You understand? I would use democracy to its fullest. Because if Rick Ford Jerk could preach racism and live so comfortable in America, you understand?
Well, there's a difference between free and comfortable. You live free. He's free right now, but that doesn't mean he's comfortable. Because
give me a take of what's going on in the diaspora. So, people believe these people?
So basically, good morning and thank you. I thought you not give me a chance to talk just now, but they're watching. I was like, this one I cannot give. But thank you very much, and good morning to your listeners and viewers. So listen up. You spoke earlier, and I was listening to you, and you are the one who said that you were lied to and you feel as though, when you were supporting the PNC, you were stupid and stuff like that. It's not something that's unique to you. I've said it on my show already. There's a problem, or the PNC has an ability to take intelligent people and turn them into stupid people. And I'm not attacking or attacking anyone, because I able for a fight right now. You understand me? But it's true. Look at James Bond. An intelligent man, young man. I played basketball with him. I know him, right? This young, intelligent lawyer had his entanglement with the PNC and became a daft person. And things that came out of his mouth sound as though you could never believe that this is a man that went to the highest premier high school in this country. The President's College, that's where James Bond went. So when we talk about what my point I'm trying to make is that it is something about the PNC that caused otherwise intelligent people to become stupid. You really believe that Moses Nagamutu does not know the half of 65? You really believe that? But when you put your heart and soul into the PNC, it infests the brain and it causes you to not think straight. So what was happening to you when you supported and campaigned for the PNC is not something unique to you. It wasn't you. It was whatever the PNC does to intelligent people that caused them to become this way. And I have so many more. Listen to Darren Wade. This boy is supposed to be bright because he went and he got a law degree. Now I have people who come around me that didn't go to high school and stuff like that, and they can make a better argument than Darren Wade when it comes to politics. And this guy has a law degree and a law license and practice law in this country.
Are you trying to say, I do not know if I'm sensing a bit of bias in what you're saying, but are you trying to say that I consider him to be a pet lawyer?
Yeah.
So are you trying to say animals don't need representation?
Well, here what happened with I want to talk about them. I could highlight their issues. Darren Wade, maybe he was bright, he went to university, he got an education, but soon as he ended up in the PNC, he became an idiot. He became dunce. The man cannot even pronounce the words that begin with the letter H. I went to the house. I went to the people's house. A lawyer. That happens to you when you go in the PNC. When you tangle up with the PNC, you become stupid. There's another one, the general secretary. She used to be my friend and my neighbor. Decent, intelligent, astute, classy lady.
She was a magistrate, you know.
Magistrate of the
Former
highest
magistrate.
caliber. Now they got she the market. She's a
stood up.
market lady now.
I stood up.
Classy lady. She used to live. She lived 2 houses away from my house where I used to live. Classy. Look what they do to her.
Oh, see.
There's something about the PNC.
I stood up in front of that woman, and when she was a magistrate, I had all confidence that justice would have been served. You
Yes.
understand? I don't know what happened to the girl when she turned a
You
PNC.
see, that's my point. I'm saying to you, there's something about intelligent people. Again, I'm saying to you, sir, whenever they entangle themselves with the PNC, just become stupid. David Hines is a professor, for Christ's sake. That's a professor. That's somebody who teaches people at the university. He's so stupid that he doesn't even realize every time he opens his mouth, the amount of racism that comes out of his mouth, it has now consumed him. And anybody who practices racism is a stupid person. Plain and simple. You're stupid because if you're going to judge a person based on how they look and because their hair texture is different than yours, you're stupid. You can't. What else could we say? David Hines, well, that's to the bark. I gotta leave that for last. You understand?
Oh, I thought you frightened me with that, but because
I
when you go
frightened.
back there and brush up.
Not me. You'll see how many times you say confront them. When you start hitting them with facts, then they start attacking you as a whole slave. When you start, listen, hear the difference with me and them. I can open my mouth and I can talk because when I talk, you're seeing it in front of you. I could tell you how much house lot the PPP give to Afro-Guyanese and Guyanese on the whole. You want to take that call?
No.
I could tell you how many roads were rehabilitated under the PPP. I can tell you how many hospitals were built or are going to be built or are presently being constructed. So I could talk, when I talk and defend the political party that I support, I could defend it with facts. So I don't have to go off into and cursing people and telling them they're house slave and telling them all these kinds of things because I could beat you with facts. I could ask you to come forward. Okay, you say the PNC is better than PPP. Show me the stadium that the PNC built, and I will show you the one that the PPP built. Show me the bridge and the road that the PNC built, and I can show you the ones that the PPP built.
Let me take a call. This person like they're excited for talk. Hello.
Critic, that guy got any organization over here in New York?
You want to join the organization?
I want to be, yeah.
I will send OC's number to you. Don't worry. You got to find my organizations for these people.
Definitely.
Right away.
Definitely.
Right away. The people are looking for action, OC.
Definitely, and I support a party that is action-based. Action-based. The president took down his hands after swearing in as president on August 2nd, and the next day he was on the road. You now have I saw Minister Dharamlal 3 o'clock in the morning, still working. And you know what came to my mind? We now have a government that the door don't close. They don't close up at a certain time. In the PNC time, the government stopped work at 8 o'clock. David Grange in the bed. Now you have a government that's working. And that is what a government is supposed to do. A government is supposed to always be working, always on call. The doors must always be open. The telephones must always be answered. Because you're there to serve. But you see, when the PNC went in there, they didn't go there to serve. They went in there to dictate and to show off.
I must say, OC. Because I'd be a hypocrite to sit here and hear you say that and not have my input. What you're referring to is a reformed PPP. The PPP of the past never acted that way. Now let me tell you, me go take own hay. Because the first body does answer the phone anytime, they're on it 24/7. It's the Guyanese Critic. There's no joke. Me and that cover accident 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And when I look at this government, they could talk cheese. They take it from me. You understand? When you I just post up something about some flooding. No, nothing is wrong with that. I am owning.
I'm gonna disagree
I'm
with
owning
you
the idea.
because
You, let me hear.
I could show you. I could show you. Right. Let's start from Chedi Jagan, the first PPP president. All right. Once Chedi Jagan was not outside of the jurisdiction, on a Saturdays, any single Guyanese could show up at Freedom House and be able to sit down and have an audience with the president. He used to take a certain amount. You understand me? And from Chedi Jagan time, the PPP was also a working party. You had when Chedi Jagan selected his people, the PNC was cursing, no, those are not the most intelligent of the crop and whatever they call them, the cabinet ministers at that time, they referred to them as Chedi Jagan wasn't interested too much in what you had on paper, because we would end up like the PNC. They have a lot on paper. Action is important. And from the time the PPP came into power in 1992, that has always been it. Yeah, maybe at a certain point in the later years, we saw people who were getting frustrated, were getting fed up because they did not know what the option was. So that's why in 2015, I still don't believe in 2015, based on the actors that delve in illegal activities to try to keep the PNC in power in 2015. Some of them were there, to keep the PNC in power. Some of those actors were there in 2015. So who is to say that they did not engage in illegal activities then?
As a man on the ground, as a man who was on the ground, as a man who campaigned for the PNC, I can tell you, because here, they got a man named Barman Aluziknan. He on PPP acolyte. Here, is he rum shop me been there, I didn't drink with the boys. While me there with the canter, I carry them PPP boys to vote PNC. He sit down, he's got to sit down a certain way from the police station. So when he watching, he thinking I carry them boys for vote for PPP. This time me convince the boys to vote for PNC. You understand? So I am telling you as a man on the ground, because of the complacency with the PPP at the time, people refrained from voting or chose to vote for AFC. That the setup was the AFC, People were misled by the AFC. People chose to vote in the mind thinking AFC because you had a lot of PPP people who would never want anything to do with the PNC. So the guys, the smoke and mirrors was the AFC to come in and say, here, they gonna hold, because if you remember what AFC was singing, accountability, we gonna hold them in place and so. You understand? And when the Bacchanal, when they feel power, that was it. They turned PNC right away. So I am saying, as a man on the ground, I could represent the fact that the elections and the fact that the Carter Center was here. As a PPP man, I know you're representing. But the Carter Center was here. A level of complacency was felt by the people of the PPP, and people voted. So, although they might get a little jiggery-poogry with them banner, even the 2020 elections, the attempt to rig the elections was after the fact. You understand?
Yes.
Normally what the PNC does do, here how the PNC get catch. Normally what they do, they just pad everything, put in everything and set up everything. They could not have done that. They try to do it after the fact. That's why they come with a spreadsheet and their bed sheet and everything else. So I am saying, to be fair to everybody, 2015 election was as democratic as it could have been in Guyana at the time, under the circumstances. Yes, I can agree with the attempts in 2020.
Those are your opinion, Critic, and I respectfully disagree with you, because them riggers that attempted to steal the 2020 elections were in place in 2015, and I am not convinced that they suddenly became riggers. I'm not saying the PPP won.
They suddenly become riggers. They were always riggers. The PNC never won an election.
What stopped them from rigging in 2015?
Because the sense on the ground, the people were dissatisfied with the actions of the PPP. Listen to me. I am telling you,
let's agree to disagree.
No, we ain't agreeing to disagree, nothing. Here, I bite line, sink, and hook. You hear what I'm telling you? I did not only vote for the PNC, I go and convince people to vote for them. At the time, that was the sentiment on the ground. You understand? So as much as you know I accept, right? It was of a time. You gotta remember Kaichon used the banging for years. We had just come out of the time with the freedom fighters. All that they set up. Not to say they didn't do things to put them in that position. But I am saying when we went to the elections, 2015, 2020, the elections were free and fair, right? And everybody agreed to that. As a politician, you represent the side. I respect that. On the ground, I can tell you, even
But
2020 was free and
that
fair.
does not mean that I will sell my integrity in defense of my party. I am telling you, I'm convinced that based, and that's why I say we should move on.
Do you have any evidence you could put forward?
The evidence I put forward that I'm saying is that you had the same players. They didn't suddenly wake up and say, "Oh, we can skip 2015. We rig all the rest. We can skip 2015 and rig 2020." No, they were riggers all along. You understand me? And it is because of the fact that no one caught them at that time. You understand me? Maybe the numbers were more favorable. They didn't have to pad so much. I'm saying to you that I'm not convinced that they won the 2015 elections fair and square. And you're not convinced yourself because you just say the PNC has never won an election. So what have they done in 2015 then? If they win it, how they
In the
get in
28
power?
years. In the 28 years. I think in light of what I put in to make that happen for them, in light of what I know of what was going on, the ground, the movement and everything else, I think it was a free and fair election in 2015. In moving on, what is the sense? I'm hearing Bench Cop. I'm hearing David Hines. And you know why I know I gotta come every day and skin up these people? When the PNC, in their haste to rile up their people, as something they always do, they understand how blacks are fragile, right? How blacks are easily agitated, right? By using certain or deploying certain methods of getting into the feelings. In an attempt to rile up the black community in this country, they took a snippet out of a video that I did, just COVID-19 time and so. And I think it's just before the election, no? Or during the election, because
It was during the election.
during the election time.
Yeah.
And put it out there and label me as a racist.
During the attempt to rig the elections.
During the attempt to rig the elections.
Yes.
Now, here was the funny thing. I had to revisit all of my memories. And I calculated me black friend, me best friend in school was a man named Stephen. Right? So I revisited and calculated if I had any disdain or if I had any funny feelings with Stephen, because growing up in Alberton and coming up in father being a black man, mother being Portuguese, all my friends black, me know nothing else. So I calculated at what time I become a racist. Then I had to revisit, now I calculate, I had one black girlfriends and thing, right? So I calculated, wait, what is really going on in me? Was me attraction to these women? You understand? If it was about dominance or whatever. These people had me thinking. These people had me convinced. You understand? I calculated. I had to seek help. I said, man, I had to ask. I said, man, I can't make a decision for myself. I said, man, y'all sure? Look at these actions. Look at my actions. Does this fall in tune with a racist? Have I gone off? Have I become a racist at some point in time? You understand what I'm telling you? When that happened to me, I realized how dangerous these people are. I realized you gotta come and tell people every day, yes, man, this is racism. Because what they did is reverse psychology. They are the racists.
Yes.
And to deflect.
Projection. It's a medical term for it. It's called projection.
To deflect from what they are, they accuse others of.
You project it onto others.
Before you could identify them. Because what happened? Most racists say, like a man, some Indian people just call me and tell me, oh, hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, how can I help you, ma'am?
I didn't come here. I could come by you.
Come to the studio, yes, come to the studio. Yeah. Now, this banner had me thinking and I calculate what kind of damage, not to say we ain't a racist in this country, right? Racism affect people across the world. So I'm calculating what kind of damage these banner do to people who don't understand what they're being pulled into. Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir. One comment, please. Allow me.
Uh-huh.
In 2015, when the PDP lost the election, our presidential candidate was weak at that time. But now, I'm going to give you one thing I'm going to have to say. From 2015, when they lost the elections, PDP party started campaigning. From after that, right through, coming right down to 2020 election. Revise it and just, I will listen, I continue.
No, I accept. That's one of the points that I missed. The fact that at the time, the PPP had weak leadership. The fact is that Daniel Ramatai was one of the stupidest presidents in the world.
I was not stupid. He was weak in office.
Weak?
Because there was an incident in Linden. What he's supposed to address. I think you should remember it when the road is blocked. Right? He did not even turn up there. Did not. And that could show you he was not functioning. All that he was doing is sitting in office. You understand?
All right.
But Inpun Ali campaigned from 2015 after the last year, right down to the bottom, into the, I would say, the last week into the election. You understand? And you could check it back and you will tell me. I'm listening to your program all the time.
Roger.
Thank you so much.
Safe. OC, anything on that?
No, I don't have nothing to say on that. I know Donald Ramatar. Donald Ramatar came up in the PPP, and Donald Ramatar, in my opinion, is a good person. Maybe he may not have that killer instinct like
but I
Jack
met,
Dio
listen to me.
or Irfan.
I met
but he had his
Donald
leadership
Ramatai.
style.
Listen to me.
And that is his leadership style.
What I'm talking
He
about.
was not a failed president.
When I said Donald Ramatai was the stupidest president,
I don't
what
agree
I'm
with that.
talking about, you ain't got to agree with nothing I say. I telling you. Here now. Freddie and Gildari left the thing. Only the other night, they had an argument. They said, you see the video with Freddie and Gildari? The two of them start arguing. I said, this is so. Gildari gonna reach over, take the bar and choke him. No, but here was saying, Donald Ramatar, personally, I know Donald Ramatar is General Secretary. And I was always impressed by him. When I go and sit down and talk to Uncle Donald, always impressed. When I say he's the stupidest president, that's why I say stupidest president. I don't say Donald Ramatar is the stupidest man. Because it's bare stupidness he do when he was president.
I don't agree.
You understand? No, you ain't gonna agree. You ain't gonna agree. I telling you. Right? So, racism and how people are affected by this. Right? You give me your take on what's going on in that. These people resonating with anybody. I don't see them resonating. Right. But I'm not in the diaspora. You give me your take.
So as it relates to the diaspora, now we got these commentators over there. Some of them can't do like me, but they call me house slave. And me, I buy what I want to buy, fly where I want to fly. They have Rickford Burke. He flies around the United States, yes, but he's yet to leave the United States. I've offered him, and I'm doing it here on your platform again. I'm offering Rickford Burke first class tickets. A ticket first class for him and whoever you want to bring with him. To come to Guyana. I am paying it from my money. I need no help from nobody. I am offering Rickford Burke here and now again. First class ticket to come to this country and defend the talks that he has. As a matter of fact, I've already put him to the test. Because one time when the Prime Minister was coming to the United States, he said that the Prime Minister, Brooklyn is his territory.
And he had to shake the man hand.
He come in and shake the man hand. And I invite him to come and eat. And he puts up a whole set of thing about me, how I vexed because he didn't come in and eat. We didn't offer you to come in and eat with us. Normally when we don't eat, we get left. So the left was for you. You understand me? Because that's a rice eater. You ever see them? You know what I'm talking about, right? Rice eaters, the gate closed, they're the loudest one. Open the gate, they get quiet. The Prime Minister was inside. Rickford Burke was at his loudest. Let's talk about when the Prime Minister arrived. Let's talk. We're going to shut them down. They're not welcome in Brooklyn. And we're going to do... We walk into Brooklyn. Well, they have a way in which they stand by the gate to intimidate any black person that is walking in there by calling them house slaves, sellout, and all kind of thing. So they make sure they congregate to the gate by about 27 of them maximum, right? Congregate to the gate to intimidate and turn away any black person that is coming in there, not to get PPP information, to get government information. And the government information is for everybody, whether you're PPP, PNC, Schumann Party, or whoever you be. When the government comes to the United States, it brings information for every single Guyanese residing in the United States to have opportunity to participate in the developmental process that's going on in Guyana. So when we went there, Peter Ramsarup was with us. We went to I'm not talking about when we get there. Let's talk about when we were going there to take information on the workings of the government, the investment opportunities that are available, and how you can get onto these opportunities. Hence the reason Peter Ramsarup was there, the head of Go Invest. He was coming there also with this type of information to ensure that the people in Brooklyn have the same opportunity, even though they say that that's PNC stronghold. Ensure that the PNC people in Brooklyn had the same opportunities, government opportunities available coming to them. You don't have to travel to Guyana. The PPP brought the information to the United States and how you can get involved in investment. And they did one in Queens, where they say that that's mostly PPP supporters. And they also went in Brooklyn, where Rickford Burke themselves say that that is PNC territory. We were not scared because we're bringing government information to them so that they could participate. They say that we're not welcome there. Riceta Burke, barking dogs, seldom bite, Ricetas. We're not welcome there. They're going to shut us down. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. They stood right by the gate. And myself, the Prime Minister, I think Gail Teixeira was there. Everybody walked right through that little crowd they had, about 24 of them, barking loudly. Walked right there, went in, keep our meeting. There were more persons inside there than the persons that were outside shouting down. It was a cold day in the United States, and they're out there, and they're shouting and stuff like that. Next thing, Rickford Burke, find himself inside. And make sure he put himself pronto so that the Prime Minister and those at the head table can see him inside. Once the Prime Minister spot him, of course, you know, Mark Phillips said, no, the Honorable Prime Minister, you know, weakling. That's why, as a matter of fact, let me share a secret with you. When they were coming, in order to not have a confrontation, I suggested to the Prime Minister that they come into the back door. The Prime Minister said, no, I'm coming through the front door, right through the crowd. And he walked right through there with all those Ricetas out there, right through the crowd. They parked for let him pass. And we walked right in there, we go in there, we kept our meeting. Those who are interested were given pamphlets and other things so that they can get equal opportunity to the investment opportunities in Guyana. We kept our meeting, we came back, well, when he came inside and we offered them food. But we don't eat. So it was the left. He said he don't want. I said, well, there's lots of food there. Mind you, this was about a 10-something night.
For clarity. You know, it's always clarify. OC is being sarcastic, right? When it comes to the food part. Because, you know, Guyanese, when people come, we always offer you food and them thing there. It's just as a result.
I offer them food. How's that being sarcastic?
It's just, no. When you're saying the rice-eated thing and so, right? It's just that he got it in the blood. He got the politics in the blood. You are it, right? But generally, we have your food as Guyanese, and I don't want, you know, people are looking at this, and me and OC talking, and we talking to Guyanese, but the world looks on at it, right? They must know that we ain't them kind of people.
No, we
offer you
food.
Something, ain't got no feelings. OC
we had no feelings.
Is
but we were
doing
not
a mix and match.
No. What I'm saying, when I say Riceta, I'm referring, you know Riceta.
Call Rickford, man.
Rickford is a Riceta. Rickford Burke is a Riceta. Barking down. And when he's actually confronted, When we come face to face, he comes down. That's what rights eater do. When the gate
Yeah,
close,
any video of rice eater actions like when they
Right.
put the tail between the foot
right?
and
You see,
running.
you know the
Bring
story.
up a video for
you
me.
know
Let me
the
see if we can
story,
get a
and you
video.
pretend you know
Any
the
rice
story.
eater video, yeah,
When the gate close, instead of barking, the postman pass by there, loud, 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 loud. You see when
And
the
if
gate,
somebody turn back,
exactly my point, and that is Rickford Bark right there. Loud, aggressive, and everything behind the camera, or when on a protest line. But when we turn around and come and confront them, then is when they start, if you hear us violent, quiet, and then they go wrong at the back and ask, I could get a number. And then they just call. They just call and ask for favors. They just call and ask for sponsorship. They just call and ask to donate things. That same Rickford Burke here just goes down and go on. Yes. They just call. They just call and ask for credit and don't pay back yet. And if you continue, Rickford Burke, I'll expose you on that because I have the documents. So you continue. Go ahead.
wait, man, what's going on here? This is the place for expose this man coming.
So this
and
not the
talk
last
up.
time?
This ain't the talk up and
This
left
is-
half program.
This is not
This is the
last
realest
time.
thing coming out
But
together.
this is not last time. This is not
Oh, we
last
got more.
time.
We got
I
more.
coming back.
So
Unless you tell me don't come back.
he got more for more show. No, here now.
Okay.
Here was my problem. OC. I have always thrived to do better in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked my way up. I had me
And you work your way out. So you get smart. Can't remember
Yeah.
seeing the PNC is
out of them. No, but I ain't want no problem, no political party anymore. I ain't want no problem. Here where the problem lies. The PPP doesn't give me an opportunity to be adversarial. Right here. Me post, right? I'm going to show you something now. This is a matter of fact. Right? Let me show you. So this is a post that I put up. Let me get it up first. That I put up this morning. Right? So what's going on here, you see? So this is a post of flooding in a community called Alnis, Quarantine Borbies, right?
Mhm.
So this is
Mostly black area. I know Alness.
Raja. So 15 minutes after I put up this post, 15 minutes after I put up the post about the flooding, none other than the minister himself called me and said, what is going on in that community? What is the problem? I said, me know who is the problem. He said, call the bill right away, find out what is the problem, how we could resolve it. The PPP, if I cost the PNC, whole day and whole night, they don't care. Alness flood, no bill of ark, carry the bill of Alness. When they go find out, the people from the Alness that and no ark is when they go back for get the people and vote.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
The minister, Critic, man, what's going on there, man? What's the post about? I said, me know the bill and send anything to me. Fine, I call the bill and say, we got little tubes, got problem the water. I said, so there's the NDC. They say yes. The PPP does not allow you to be adversarial.
Right.
By the time you start hello, what happened? What's the problem? Come, call, we're going to fix the problem.
But that is what you're supposed to. That's what the government is supposed to do. A government is not supposed to be reactive. A government is supposed to always be there on the ground. Working. Problems will arise. They will have issues in any country. And a president and a cabinet and a government is supposed to always respond to those issues and even put mechanisms in place to avoid those issues happening in the first place. That is why you see you have a government that is already working, even though certain areas are not flooded. When they're building these new communities, they're ensuring that they're putting in the drainage that could take the amount of rainfall that is happening now. So that is why you see this government, before they give out house lots now, they're putting in the proper infrastructure, drainage and stuff like that, to ensure that when people move into these communities are proper ready to face the challenges that come with climate change. But the PNC would
I hear
want
ya.
you to believe. The PNC would want you to believe.
You know,
Also,
you feel me that
that-
OC, you feel not cutting you. I carry on. Let me
They
get
want
this
you
video.
to PNC would want you to believe that, like how this
Hold
rainfall.
on. Everton, we got a call on the line. Yes, Mr. Everton, what's going on?
Yeah, Critic, you and OC hitting the spot this morning, man. It's right on the money. You recall that you and I participated in the recount, okay?
Yeah.
And I will tell you, on the fifth day of the recount, I stepped outside. You had the media out there, and I made a proclamation that Granger and Jack should go off to let them and probably make some kind of shared governments. They ignored me, and quite frankly, the next day I almost got killed because I went to the PNC across the street, if you recall. There was a PNC booth. And Mr. Ross from New Amsterdam was ready to crucify me for saying that. Now, I'm a black man. And I got to give some credit to OC because most of my black friends in Ghana don't talk to me no more because they thought I was a spy or some kind of an infiltration to make the AP and you lose the election just because I supported Change Guyana. Now, I met Mr. Rickford Burke. I've had many Remy Martins with him here in Long Island.
Who paid for the Remy Martin?
I don't really give the guy much credence to what he does or what he says. As a matter of fact, I pay no attention. But overall, I think OC is hitting the mark. As a black man, you can't come into Guyana and say anything positive about a PPP without your friends running from you, thinking you were some kind of a hitman or
Sorry,
something.
but you're still in a better position than me because for me, it's friends and family. But you know what? I always say, once I am on the right side and I'm talking the truth, if you're my family member, you have a problem with it, to hell with you. That is the reason why I ensure that I set myself up in a place that I would never have to run to any family member or friend and ask them for anything. So
Yes.
I am always going to ensure. So you as friends, I friends and you're
What's your-
friends. I'm friends and family. So you're still in a better position than me. Family members does curse me down. But I hit them with facts. When I hit them with facts, you know, they tell me it's a sellout. Because they got nothing else they could tell me.
Everton, hold on. Pause. Don't come off the phone. Don't come off the phone. Hold on.
There's more racism between us blacks in Guyana than Indians to me.
Look right for a market.
Everton, hold on. Don't come off the phone. Hold. We got a video here. It seems to be at the gates of Congress Place. And it's going down. Let me just run the video for you guys. This seems to be at the gates of Congress Place because the gates are green. And it seems that Rickford Burke and David Hines is there.
No, they look like Mark. They more resemble Mark. Mark Benchcop.
Mark Benchcop. It seems that
look
yes.
the brown,
So look
thing.
the actions. Look the actions. See, this is the action. Big bacchanal. Big bacchanal.
Y'all PVP.
Hold on. Watch it. This is the action.
Wow.
You understand? And when the gate open, them dog broke out. Yeah, Mark and Rickford gone.
Yeah.
All right.
I was able to come to Guyana. I was a migrant, and I met with Jack Dio and Neil and a few others. I can never get an audience. I even tapped the now opposition, the prior opposition leader on his shoulder one day was and said, I want to have a conversation with him. Never called me back. I met with Jack B. I met with Anal. I even met with the former prime minister at his favorite karaoke spot. What tells me and what informs me, is I'm disappointed with a lot of my black colleagues in Ghana because I've told them, I says, guys, take this opportunity. Now's the time to kind of milk the system because things ain't going to change for 10 to 15 years. The PPP is going to be in power. And nothing the AP News put forward so far demonstrate that they are capable or able to change the direction of the country. So I don't want to take up your guys' time, but I just wanted to share that with you this morning. OC, I think you need to be here more often. I like some of the things you've said, and I appreciate that a black man as a PPP supporter, you come through. You said it. You hit the money on it. You hit the nail on the head.
Thank you,
say it as it is.
Roger,
Thank you.
Chief.
Okay.
Always
guys.
positive. When I met that guy, he had great plans, and the funny thing is, after the PNC do I talked to the guy we've been on the panel with,
Royal Johnson.
Raul Tony.
Yeah.
And I told Raul Tony in the panel, you stand up in front of my house and lie. He did not rebut. Me and Raul Tony talk after at a party. And I said, but like you understand what's going on. You know Raul Tony did not know what he was doing there?
Again.
Raul Tony and me and Raul, anything going on, Raul would laugh. When I find out and really dig down deep, and Raul is a good guy.
I would not attack Raul Tony. The man grew up right around the corner from me in the Mayor's Ward in Linden.
Raul is a good guy.
Right by too. But that is what happened.
Raul went out. When me and Raul over drinks, I said, boy.
Goodbye.
You lie for me. The man said, wait a minute. I said, boy, I never said that. There's a video. I say, you ever see the video? Here, Raul, no, I never see the video. I said, so what are you doing in front of me house, boy?
And man want to beat you too.
You understand?
Man, you want to beat you.
I continue to meet, and that's where I realize, you got to keep this thing. You got to educate these people. I continue to meet people that are fighting but not know what the cause is about.
Yeah.
They know, racist, this body. I like Critic. So can you break down a racist act for me? What constitutes racism? If you ask them now, question here, me ask you nothing. I ask you to give 10 pointers. Normally, I'm not asking you to do a thesis. You understand? It's not PhD you're going to get. I am asking you. You in a protest line. Racism. So, just give me one instance that you experienced this. They turn to whoever is the leader of the crowd. David Hines, Aubrey Norton, whoever, right? To figure out. So, what is it again? Tell me. What's the racism again? How is the racism?
Yeah.
It's between Indian and blacks. When you go in the market, Indian buying from blacks. When you're watching the bus, Indian buy, sit down on black girl lap, black girl sit down on Indian buy lap. I said, these people know what race. Because I be watching and calculating like, I'm glad to see the racism, man. And the instances, you ask an individual who preaching this thing.
Yeah.
So just tell me one instance you have experienced racism. Not Aubrey Norton telling you, not Rickford Burke telling you, not David Hines telling you, not Ben Scott telling you. I want you to tell me what really touched you. Is David Hines touch you? Is Mark Ben Scott touch you? You understand? And really or truly they touch you. They feeling you all up. You understand? You ever see them video when they feel them up and the people start jump up? So they are accustomed to them feeling. They're not accustomed to them feeling. You got somebody stand up and somebody get a little tickle, so and next thing you jump up, so because you're not accustomed to people touching you there. It's just what's going on. When they listen to Sherrod Duncan and Rickford Burke and all them, they come out, yes, this is the issues. Now, hear me tell you. Any progressive society, any progressive person has to have merit in their argument. You got personal issue. Like, hear everybody hollering, oh God, cost of living going up. You understand? But here now, people watching, what was going to be done about it? I ain't see you do nothing about it. I ain't see you do nothing in your personal life. I still go and see everybody the fish shop. Tribe got it locked. Palm Court got it locked. Tower and Pegasus Poolside and Barriat and all the cricks. Oh, what the government doing about it? Me ain't see the consequences of it yet. Yeah. We ain't to Venezuela. Oh, sugar gone up.
And
Uh-huh.
on that point, I'm happy that you mentioned that because when I came to this country in April, I got into an argument with somebody, right? And I'm pointing out to them, listen, you already got things established. Of course, a PNC supporter, family member to a PNC supporter, so you know they're lazy. They just come up with, oh, the government ain't doing nothing for black people. Oh, what do you mean? So the Venezuelans and the others are coming into this country. You already that step ahead of them because you already have your support mechanism in place. You understand me? Vast majority of them ain't paying no rent. I mean the Guyanese that live here, grow barn and grow, live here. They ain't paying no rent. You already have the support mechanism. Maybe you build a little bottom house and your mother, you don't got to pay no rent and anything. You got the Venezuelans and those others that come into this country with zero support base. They come and they working in stores and in bars and stuff like that. They have to pay rent, zero support base, and they're making it right here in beautiful Guyana. Why you can't make it? Why you can't make it? The reason you cannot make it is because you're lazy and you consume an overdose of the hopelessness that the PNC continue to preach every day, and you sit down and you do nothing about it. But by the time you hear about a party, by the time you hear about a fete, by the time you hear about a jam, you got money to buy new hair and new nails and new shoes and new clothes, and you're gone. And then next day, costing the government, oh, we hungry and we got nothing to eat, and the government is looking after we. This is what's fool David. And I couldn't believe that a whole political party so stupid in 2020. Now, if you bring Farmer Nappy and all these big international artists, obvious, and put them to perform at your rallies for free, obviously your crowd gonna be big. Now they're going based on their crowd size that they bring Farmer Nappy. Farmer Nappy had the biggest soca song at that time. Garbage bag.
That they end up in the garbage bag.
Right? the biggest soca song at that time. And they bring Farmer Nappy to perform at their political rallies / concerts. The crowds were huge. School children, people who can't vote, people who never register, all kind of people. Big crowds. The PPP, on the other hand, when you went to the PPP campaign rallies, all you had was campaign speeches because you're going to a campaign rally, not a concert. So and the PPP were drawing big crowds. Equally big crowds. They had people who went there just for the music. They had people who went there who ain't interested in no elections or anything like that, and they voted. Right? The people that showed up
I think a lot of people go for the clothes, the jerseys.
And the free music.
Nice clothes.
I would love to go to a free concert with Farmer Nappy, but I ain't paying. I ain't paying to see Farmer Nappy because he also sold his fortunes by endorsing the PNC. So he too, these views are not the views of the People's Progressive Party Civic. These are my own personal views. But he too should not be allowed to come to this country anymore because you cannot be an outsider and come in here and take a political side. I could understand if he had a horse in the race. That's fair. You understand me? So up to now, I'm still telling the people, listen to his music for free. This is not Critic views. These are not PP views. They're my views. But don't buy nothing from Farmer Nappy. Don't pay for it. Anyway, like I say, so they on elections they continue. They were they're drawing these big crowds because they're drawing these big crowds because people came out for the music and stuff like that. You had school children and stuff like that. I knew they lost the elections at 2:00 on elections day. You want to tell you why? Because when you look in PPP areas, the line's still long. People still waiting for vote. Meanwhile, James Bond, still again, you're seeing him so bright. What were you telling the world? When you going wrong in a bus on live, you're up on live, the biggest enemy of the PNC, I continue to say it, is a cell phone and a camera. That's why they used to win prior to we getting cell phones with cameras. But now people are documenting things. And he documented the PNC failure to win the 2020 election since the day. You see all over in PPP strongholds, long lines at 2:00. At 2:00, James Bond on a live driving around Albistown and all the other places, begging people to go out and vote. Their vote's done already. 2 o'clock, let me get voters no more. And PPP line still long.
I was on the road and had to continuously go to different locations that they tried to create uneasiness to frighten away voters.
Yes.
Mondrapo,
Yes.
Traspe. I had to drive the set fire there at LBI.
Yeah.
All kind of. I drive across this Tushin.
We have a problem that got to be fixed for the next elections. And I know it personally because I go there. I was a scrutineer there at one time. You see that same school at Monrepo where those black guys from Buxton always go at the polling place and try to intimidate Indian voters. That nonsense has got to stop by the next elections because they did it last elections.
Yes.
But the votes were so much that even though
Ali.
Well, no word, Shisha.
And what the former Attorney General name?
Basil Williams.
Basil Williams.
Dumber.
Hello, tell Anil. Anil left here. Anil left in shock. Anil even know what hit
Anil, your name calling.
Anil, your name calling.
Dumb and dumber. Now listen, let me explain that because we can't jump over that like that. We have to explain, we don't even need to explain how the elections are conducted here in Guyana, right? You have to be registered prior to the elections. You have to get your ID card. Your name have to appear on the folio, and your name have to appear on the voters list. And then you show up with the ID card. You present your ID card to the security. The security let you into the polling station. You present your ID card to the GCOM official, who will show that ID card to everybody in there. You got PNC scrutineer, you got PPP scrutineer, you got third party scrutineer, fourth party scrutineer, observer, security, and you show that ID card there. Now they accuse Anil of handing out ID cards on the election day. No, Anil had to print in the pocket, in the back pocket, printing the ID card. Not only that, while he printing it, he had to be Houdini and had a hairstyle like yours and stuff like that, and just making that name automatically appear on the folio, on the voters list, on the scrutineer sheets that they had. You understand me? Plus, you got to take out your picture, make the ID card for you without nobody seeing. So me know how we doing all of that. You understand me? But these PNC people actually believe these things. And you had a big attorney general at the time, Basil Williams, saying these things. Look at Kemrat Ramjatan with the Smirnov and those other Russian guys' story. All those stories, when you listen to them, and you have, the unfortunate thing is, you have PNC pawns who believe these things. These people actually believe them. I got a cousin, and I'm sorry to be, calling out my family here, but they're equally as stupid too. And I have to say it. Not all of them. And I love all of them. But not all of them stupid. I got stupid family too that support them. One of my cousins said to me, and my cousin is intelligent. This girl went to Mackenzie High School, bright girl. Get your subjects and thing. My cousin said to me that Donald Trump wanted the drugs to continue to flow from Guyana. So Granger is stopping the drugs. So Donald Trump want back PPP. Because PPP is let the drugs flow through. I said, let we say the story is true. Donald Trump is not the president no more, so Biden taking the drugs to them. Man, use a sellout. They got you good. When you hit them with facts, that's what they tell you. But she want to call me a house slave, but I'm sure in her mind she must be saying that. But I want to say it here because I got a good platform. If being a house slave means living how I live, I want to live as a house slave for the rest of my life. And however, some of y'all living that calling me house slave, I pray to God that I never end up like y'all. And with this brain that I got here, that could never happen anyway. So I wear that badge that badge with honor.
I got some photos there. I don't understand what's going on. I put up these photos. You seen this thing? Oh, see? Who's these people? Give me some.
Doesn't that the one where they try to chase out the people that from GCOM, Karen Cummins or something, sit down there? She don't look like Karen Cummins. Okay. Remember she tried to chase, and when I had to put she to her place?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked like
who's
she.
This guy? You know this guy?
No, I don't know him.
I just get his photo. Well, that's my partner, Ganesh Maipal.
But if it's a partner, when you gonna get this guy a little sense? Help you out now, man.
Yeah.
Help you get a little brighter, man.
Why you don't drive your own car? What you say? Oh, all right. Where you going? Okay, cool. Yeah.
If the man's your partner, help you to get a sense, man. He's stripping bad body. No,
He's play a game. He's play a game.
Oh, okay, it's a game.
He
Okay.
here up now. Them banner on a regular day. Like I have a partner has a degree, a number of degrees, and he continues to study and so on. And he works with the government for about 180,000, 200,000 dollars. Remember, Guyanese is a sitting MP, right?
Yeah.
And people don't know the logics behind a lot of the opposition members. They really aspire for their people get nothing. Once they get a living, once they get a bread, once they can get a link, you understand?
Right.
It's about food on the table. So some of them banning
You remember that this your partner Ganesh Manipal, after when they were booted out of office, he didn't want to fight the people stay in the government house. You remember the story?
I played a role in making sure he ended up on the streets.
Okay.
So, who's these people, man?
Tell me the story.
Somebody send these pictures to me, but I can't figure out what's going on. It's a Karen Cummins. You got
That's Karen Cummins. She come back.
Is she?
It look like she come back.
So who is the? I know this banner is a AFC by. Who is this big man?
The one in the middle there is Fayuz Morsalin. He is that was a good buy too. Something happened to you. I gotta meet him and lay hands on him. Something happened to him.
So
That's the treasurer.
So we got. I didn't understand.
That's Pampy. Remember you got
The
Lampy
main
and
fact
Pampy.
that this is not Karen Cummins, man. This is not Karen Cummins.
Oh, okay. Look like
So the main fact that they sent these pictures to me is that something is going on. People trying to place people together. They must be orchestrating something for the NTC. They say the government hijacked the NTC, and I had to talk about it
I
yesterday.
want to come offset for 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Well, we wrapping up now. Let me wrap up.
All right.
Right? So, guys, I think it's about my time. Yes, y'all get 7 minutes more than y'all deserve. When you going back?
I'll be here for a while.
Well, we doing this again. We and OC doing this again. And remember, the heights with the rice eaters, right? Stay focused.
I let Rick Ford work know that boots on the ground and he boots need to be on the ground and I got the plane ticket ready. Come, let's do it, man. Come and advocate for your cause, Rickford Bork. You're needed at home to help your people get out of this racism. You can't be out there barking loud when you get time for action. I'm buying the first class ticket for you. Let me know when you're ready.
Yes, guys, take it away.